set number 70801, The Melting Room. This is a LEGO Movie themed set. This is before I've watched a LEGO Movie, so if you want to see the post-movie review, stay tuned. That will be coming sometime soon. Ages 6 to 12, 122 pieces, 3 minifigures, released in 2014, and retails for $13. This is one of two $13 sets that we get from this year for the LEGO Movie series, and the other one being the Getaway Glider. Let's take a closer look at this set now. I have the box art for this set. If you're not familiar with the LEGO Movie series sets, they are a very easy to find box art. It's a very dark blue, a little bit of turquoise in between, and you can see the LEGO Movie in big LEGO made letters on the top. It's got a basic format as far as a $13 box, and for any LEGO set as far as all the stats being in the mid left corner. We also get to see the actual action of the set, as well as the characters on the bottom. On the top of the box, it shows you the names of each of the characters: Emmett, Wildstyle, and Robo SWAT. The rest of the box is pretty plain as far as LEGO boxes go, so nothing particular there. So what we get to see, similar to other LEGO Movie set boxes, and even some other LEGO themes. This is pushed in a little bit, sorry about that. We get to see the main look of the set on top, with another pose of each of the figures and the functions. On the bottom, it gets to show you some of the features of the set and things they point out very carefully. Now, what I notice here, there are a lot of articulate points in the set, although they can't highlight all of them on this small box. But I find it interesting that one of the things they show is this little tool rack. And for this set, it's not too much of a feature to me, but it's still interesting how they put that in here. It also shows you the LEGO Movie video game on the bottom portion, and doesn't say what rating it is. It's actually rated E10 and up. We get 4 different bags in this set. Some of the bags are inside of each other. If you want to see the distribution of pieces, check out my building video. I would like to bring attention, though, to one bag, and I always bring attention to the smaller bags. These are the molded bags with special molded pieces. They usually are put in here with some of the Friends sets. This has been done since about 2009, as far as I remember, where they had Power Miner rock monsters in these types of bags. The piece that's used inside of that bag is Wildstyle's hood, because it's a flexible piece and a new mold that deserve that type of bag. Usually pieces like that are put into, they're usually flexible and or have some flexibility to them. Sorry about the light. We get a small instruction booklet with this set, and if you're familiar with the LEGO Movie theme, you know that they have a very kind of a creator style, but also LEGO Movie style of instructions. You know, to give you like a very basic look of how to build the set. And then we have it on the back. On the back portion, we get to see some of the other LEGO Movie sets in action. What I like about it is they put some of them into the same scene without using all the parts of all the other sets. So you get a little bit of Metalbeard set, you get a little bit of Wildstyle set, you get a little bit of Bad Cop set. So it still makes for a nice scene. We also get an advertisement for the LEGO Movie video game, and 2 pages of piece count on the back. Then we have the win section. We have the extra pieces in this set. These are the ones that are spare after building the entire model, but they are helpful if you want to build other things, or if you're missing a certain piece. And they're usually very basic pieces. A lot of these have been used many times before, but I think some of them are also very, nice to get in an extra form. We got a bunch of 1x1s, some of them in square, some of them in round shapes, and they all have studs on top. What I like about them is they're all translucent, especially the translucent yellow and orange. They're not too rare, but they are a little harder to find than some other pieces. We get a 2x2 plate piece in this side. I checked through the set again, and I didn't really see it being used. So I was surprised that was a type of piece that was an extra from this set. We also get a couple of different Technic pegs, one in blue to put studs on, and two in black and gray. It allows you to connect on both sides. Not that the blue one can, it's just stronger for the black and gray ones. We get a small Technic bushel piece in the back corner. You can see it's standing up. We get an extra bracket piece. They're always nice to get, actually. I like getting them. And we get a red lever, a gray pistol, which is actually used more as a handle than as a pistol. And you'll see that in the set. And we also get an extra pair of handcuffs. Handcuffs are always good to get an extra, but we get them a lot in different LEGO City sets and in some other themes. So now we'll take a look at the new pieces from this set. We have the extra pieces, I'm just kidding. Here we have the new pieces in this set. These are all ones that have been introduced as of 2014, so you won't find them in 2013 and earlier sets. Correct me in the comments if that's mistaken. First one I'd like to point attention to is this tube piece. Now it does not come in this actual shape. It actually comes out flat, but after time of holding this set, I guess it's just become the shape that it needs to be. So if you are building this and you have it out for a very long time, it will retain that shape. Not that you can't bend it back, but it does hold the shape even after you take it off. You can even bend it this way, and it's not, I guess, I don't know if this has actually been used before, but it definitely has had similar versions before. This one is actually, it seems pretty new to me, and I've had many other tube-like pieces, so I can verify this seems very new. Next piece we have is a 1x2 curve piece. This is new for 2014, and just dropped it. And I've noticed this is in a lot of different sets from 2014, not only the LEGO Movies theme. So it has a very abrupt kind of curve to it, so it makes it good for those tight corners that you need to get into for arch pieces. We get about 4 of them in this set. The tube we only get 1 of, by the way. We have an A-frame piece, as I like to call it, an A-frame piece because of its shape. It looks like the letter A. We get this in this set. I know we get it in some of the Ninjago sets. A bunch of them have 2 of these used for wing structures. But this set only has 1 of these pieces. Very nice piece. If I were to find the angle, looks like it's about 45, but I can't exactly tell. It does present a very interesting look for when you're trying to build different sets and you get these odd angles. Brings a little bit more creativeness and also keeps it very structured. You can build along this part. It is smooth, so you could just have pieces lying along there. But you probably can't connect this corner to this corner unless you raise the pieces above it. Next piece we have is the piece of resistance. This is featured in the movie and is featured with every version of Emmett. That does not include Hard Hat Emmett, Pajama Emmett, and Western Emmett. All the other versions have this piece with him, so you will find this in a lot of different LEGO Movie sets. It stands 2 bricks tall and has a unique area for attaching pieces to. Next piece we have is Emmett's hair. This is a unique mold that is made for Emmett. It's similar to some other ones, but you can tell the difference by the little curl in the back. The little hair that's standing up really gives it some more definite shape and really gives it, a unique and creative and kind of kid-friendly look to Emmett. Last piece that we have is Wildstyle's hood. Now, there have been many different hoods made by LEGO, and I find this one to be very interesting. It's entirely a flexible plastic piece. If you see my building video, you'll see I play around with this a little bit just by feeling it and showing that it's very flexible all the way around. We've had many before that have been in a solid plastic shape and to them and structure. This one also has some detail on the side and shows part of her hair in the inside of here. So I appreciate that detail to make it as if her hair is inside, as if you could take her hair out of there, but you can't. So it's a very interesting piece. I'm surprised they went with a flexible look to it, as opposed to a solid plastic look. So now let's get on to our set. Here in our set is a Robo SWAT member. There's no real name for this particular one. It just says Robo SWAT on the side of the box. He's very similar to all different kinds of Robo SWAT members in that he has the same exact torso, legs, and they do have different hats, and they do have different faces. The face on him is chrome, where his arms are gold. Not gold. Sorry. They are gray. So, and it is also very easily to use for other minifigures because he does not have any robot skin. His gun is mainly, it has been shown before, I forgot to show it as a new piece, but it is a new piece for 2014, and basically works a lot like the gun that we've seen from Dino in 2011, maybe 2012. But it is a different molding, so you can see how the shape of it is. We do not get any printing on the back of his face. He is a little bit easier to find in other sets. This is not the cheapest version of him. It's the cheapest one where you get that hat if you want. But I can get a cheaper version of him in the LEGO Movie Activities book, where you get this figure, which is almost exactly the same as a slightly smaller price. The face on him is similar to other robots, and so is the hat. So he's not something too special, but as far as an army builder figure, he works just fine. I have Wild Style, and in this version of Wild Style, she has a hood on, as it shows in the front of the box, and as we showed as a new piece. Excuse me. Now, she has what appears to be the same torso printing and leg printing as other Wild Style minifigures, so you can see a better look at that. She does have the feminine shape to her body, so that you can tell that she's a lady. And I know it's kind of a hard thing to say, but you know what I mean. I'll just move her axe over a little bit. This is her weapon in the set to break Emmett free. And you can see her graffiti detail goes from the legs to the torso, and even onto the arm, and even onto the back. We don't get the same graffiti detail on there because it only goes on one side of her. That also coordinates with her hood. So I guess that's part of her style as Wild Style. She does have two different faces on this minifigure. This one's a little bit of a kinder face, maybe determined face, and the other one is more mean and a little bit focused, I guess you could say. And this is how it looks when we fit the hood on, so you don't actually see part of the torso where you get that hood look, because that's covered with the piece. You also get to see part of her eye is not shown because her hair is in the way of the eye with the hood on. Our third figure, Emmett, and he's a very basic form and very common form between lots of different sets. You'll most likely see him with this screaming face on. He's in this set, Getaway Glider, Bad Cops Pursuit, the Wild Style Motorcycle Chase set. I can't remember the name of it right now. Sorry about that. And also Lord Business's Evil Lair. So don't worry about this variation. You'll find him very easily between lots of different sets. He is one of the few variations that has a hairpiece. Some other ones, such as Western Emmett, Hard Hat Emmett, they do not have the hairpiece, but they also have it with the pajamas version of Emmett. So his torso is actually very plain compared to other ones. It is a lot like them because it's exactly the same. You'll see why I have his hands on the sides like that in just a little bit. It's not just because of how he came in the box. It also has to do with the set. So you can see how his hair looks all around on him. He does have some back printing, which features that nice... What I like about the construction versions of Emmett, the reflective gear is, very authentic for, construction workers. As we flip his face around, we get to see his more determined face, which appears also with this type of minifigure. When you see the Scream face, you'll also see the determined face. I'm just going to take off his head. We'll fit the piece of resistance on here, and you can see how that attaches. And there he is with the piece of resistance on him. You can see that all the way around. Does get a little bit in the way of his bending, but if you're not bending him too far back, it won't be a problem. There we have our Emmett. So here we have the set, and what we're going to do, we already have Emmett placed in, but we're going to keep these other figures out of it since they don't have a permanent place in the set. I will show where they could fit later on. So what we're looking at, we're just going to spin this around. You can see it's mainly made on an octagonal plate, which was introduced a couple years ago with Alien Conquest around that time. We also have a couple sections that break off from there. Some of them can move, some of them cannot move. You can see Emmett is in place. You can see his Scream through there. Alright, so we're going to break this down. We're going to go from the smallest to the biggest. First part that we have over here is a small station where you just have some area to put tools and accessories. The hammer in the box art for the set is shown to go here, but and it still can. It's not that it can't. You can put whatever you want there, but they do have the handcuffs shown. I was thinking that maybe Wildstyle could have brought her own hammer or axe, whatever you may call it. I meant to say axe. And you could just have the guard's gun positioned here. And it doesn't really have much to this section. It's just a break off from the main area. It does give a nice room so that you can move around in this area. So it's a good use of that angled piece, the A-frame that we were talking about earlier. We do have these small lights on this area as well as the other area. They can move back and forth, but they don't really show to have much purpose as far as moving back and forth. Not that they can. I mean, in the box art for the set, again, they're not really shown to do anything. They're just there for lights, I guess, to illuminate the room. The next section, we're going to go to this slightly bigger section. This has an ability to break off from the main area, so you could have the laser pointed in different directions. I think it's supposed to be a magnifying glass, from something I've heard before, but I'm not sure. Kind of has a magnifying glass look with this this pulley piece that's being used with the wheel cover on top of it. You can move the laser by itself back and forth. This is the furthest back that you can go if you have it on a flat surface. Otherwise, if you pick it up, you can have it go all the way back. It only goes that far back because of the flexible tube behind here. You can still push, but it would still wind around the tube and might misshape it or break it off. This section also includes a small computer which can move up and down. You can have someone activating the computer to move the laser inward. It also shows in the set that you could break this off and just have it as a separate item, which to me seems a little bit interesting. They showed on the front of the box art, so I guess they don't really mind that being a play feature. You could bring in the laser like this, aim it, and you could also turn this back and forth to have an idea for where the laser is going to hit. You also have a lever on top of here to activate or deactivate the laser. So a lot of the parts of this set are based on articulation, especially in this section. Now the middle section, we have the actual base. There's definitely enough room to fit other minifigures in here if you need to, but also provides room for this this platform. Now, this is a kind of scene that to me seems like kind of a typical cliche almost. In action films, they often have a scene where one person is put as a victim and they're going to be zapped by a laser. So the laser, slowly creeps up on them, hitting them very close and then someone comes in to rescue them. So it does have that reminiscent feel for the set in total. Also has a twist to it because the fact that you need to remove the piece of resistance using the laser, but also to cut apart Emmett, literally kill him, so that he does not, fulfill his destiny as the special. So what I like about getting back to the set, actually, you can move this platform around 360 degrees while it's tilted upwards. You can also tilt the platform this way, and it just about moves almost all the way around. You still have to tilt it up a little bit to get over the lights, but still has that maneuverability, which I like about this set, other than the nice pieces and the fact that it's a base. So you could use these two parts as a villain and line up the laser, and bam, you could actually get the laser close enough to touch the piece of resistance, which for some reason, I didn't think that was going to be possible. They also show in the 3D review of the set online on the LEGO website that there are these small bar pieces so you can move back and forth, and they particularly don't serve much purpose to me. I don't know if they actually do anything, but on here at least they do coordinate with the chains. So if you want to break the chains off, you can just pull them like this, and that would be your way of breaking Emmett free. Now basically the chains aren't like your handcuffs. They attach on top of the minifigure's hands, as we've seen before with other kinds of minifigures. So it is an interesting, add-on, and you can move Emmett a little bit with the chains on while he's positioned in here. They show on the set his arms are actually a little bit lower. You can still keep his arms lower because there's still enough room with the chains to make that happen. I also wanted to show you lastly this small part. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a small computer down here by the laser. So, that is all of our features. By the way, you could have Emmett's face showing behind, kind of like they do on the set, but you're going to have to tilt him backwards and move his face back. Personally, I prefer him just like this, so he's more forced down and can't get up in any way, So, also I'd like to mention, you probably would have more than one Robo SWAT if you're trying to reenact, a similar scene from the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know if they have more than one SWAT member, but I would imagine that they would, for security purposes, as well as operating the laser purposes. In fact, I'm not sure if I could believe that this set has the same authentic feel as the movie version. Again, I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure, but I feel like the laser is going to be much bigger in the movie, and maybe even the platform for Emmett would be much bigger for him in the movie version. But I do like how they somewhat scaled it down and made it playable for kids. So, what do I think about this set? I think this is actually a very nice $13 set. It's a good way to get Emmett, just like in the Getaway Glider, you get the same variation of him. But this one also includes Wild Style, so you get some of the more main characters in the film. And may I say, this is the only way you can get Wild Style with her hooded form. The hooded form is a nice add-on for this set. It breaks up the monotony for Wild Style's character, and also makes her look more mysterious and, spy-like when she's trying to break Emmett free. The features in here are very nice in that we have a lot of flexibility in play. I also like it being a base building set in that, you're not building a vehicle, but you're actually building an area, a room, or chamber, as they call it in the movie. So I like all the, adaptive details that they have inside of this room to give that, kind of gives a feel, even just looking at it, that this is something high-tech, this is something underground, but this is something villainy. Definitely villainy. This is a very villain-oriented set, even though the characters, there's only one that's actually a villain, but two of them being heroes. So, not too bad set. Very nice build to it. No problems really with the build on this one. And no stickers, by the way. that I mentioned, there are no stickers in this set, so it does help, make the building experience quicker and easier. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my post-movie review. When I go to see the movie, I will do another review of this set, just outlining what it's about and how it relates to the movie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.